Hi everyone, this is Christy Cook, the creator of the Pillars of Genius method, and today I'm going to walk you through a great client example of how to write an about page. Or it could be your LinkedIn profile or your bio or anything that's an actual profile that you're wanting to write and you're banging your head against the wall because every time you go sit down to write it, you know you're great at what you do, but you can't figure out what you actually want to say in your profile. So you might write in circles and never come to the end of it, or maybe you don't even start because you're not sure what you really want to say. So today I'm going to walk you through a great client example and show you a really simple structure that you can follow and get really empowered with to write your own profile. So the first thing I'm going to do is tell you about what are the 3 elements that you need to include in your profile. So the first one is your role, your title, right? So that could be, I'm Christy Cook, the creator of the Pillars of Genius method, or I'm Sue Smith, a chiropractor, or I'm Joe Schwo and I'm the vice president of marketing. Whatever it is, obviously you want to include your role or your title. Then the next section is, what is your unique genius? So in what I know for sure, and in all the work we've done in the Pillars of Genius process, is that everyone, I mean everyone, has between 3 and 4, or sometimes 5, core areas of unique genius that is who you are at your core, and you couldn't not be that way even if you tried. And that's the work that we do in the Pillars of Genius method, is that we help people identify what is their unique genius. So for you listening to this recording, you want to look in your life and see, what is your unique genius? What are those 3 or 4 core areas that are who you are at your core, that you could stand up in court and defend them because you have clues throughout your entire life that actually differentiate you from the others in your industry? So that's what you really want to include in your profile. And I'm going to show you what it looks like using one of our client examples. And then the third area, right, because the first area is your title, right, or your role. The second area is your unique genius. And the third area is your credentials. So this is, what you would normally put in an about page or a bio or a profile is, what are your certifications and your degree and how many years in business and which books have you written and high profile clients, that kind of thing that people would normally put in an about page. Okay, so those are the 3 sections. So now let's take a look at one of our Pillars of Genius clients, and you will see a great example of how to weave this in. Okay, so this is one of our amazing clients, Marika. Now, she is a certified Martha Beck life coach, and she's the founder of Your Novel Life. And she went through the Pillars of Genius process, identified what her unique genius is, but I want to show you how she has created her about page, because I think it will give you some great structure for how you can create your profile without banging your head against the wall. Okay, so the first section is, we went through this already, is she has defined what her title is, right? Her role. Okay, so it starts out, I'm a certified Martha Beck life coach and founder of Your Novel Life. All right, and then the next section is, really it's kind of following in on that role is what does she actually do? She helps curious women see what happens when they slow down enough to know who they are so they can take charge of themselves and the lives they create. How beautiful is that as the outcome? It's very specific. It's very clear. You know exactly who she is, who she serves, and how it's going to go if you actually work with her, right? So her ideal clients can self-select in, and her non-ideal can keep walking. So that's really what her outcome is, what the transformation is that she provides to her clients. And then she has added in a little bit of a story about her background, so that's great. And what the difference is that most people, when they write their about page, they think of just including this part, like what's my story, and it's this sort of long wandering story, and that's why people feel like, yeah, it's not quite it. It's not quite my full profile, because you know that that's not quite enough. Now, so that's where the difference comes in here, and what I want to teach you that's really distinct about what I'm teaching you versus what you're probably doing right now, which is to include your unique genius. That's what you want to focus on your about page. So These four, now what Marika calls philosophies, right? Philosophies form the foundation for my entire life and infuse my coaching with meaning, purpose, and direction. Great. So these are actually the 4 pillars of genius that she discovered in the Pillars of Genius process. So the first is one of her core pillars of genius, who she is at her core. She couldn't turn it off if she tried. She has evidence through her whole life. It's how she's differentiated in her work, is that she believes that life is learning, growing, evolving. And you can see what she's done here is in the first paragraph, she has defended it as who she is at her core. In other words, it's not just a claim, but she's giving like proof, evidence, decisions she's made in her life that says, yeah, this is who I am at my core. So when you're reading it, you actually can believe, yeah, this is who she is. I got it. And then the second paragraph is how it benefits her ideal clients. So great, it's who she is at her core. Great, it's her unique genius. But what's in it for me? You know, as a client reading this or a potential client reading this, that's what she's providing in that second paragraph. So you can see for each pillar of genius, or what she calls her philosophies, right? So that's great, is she has 2 paragraphs. She's proving it in the first paragraph, and in the second paragraph, she's explaining how it benefits her clients or her, potential clients. So her first unique genius is life is learning, growing, and evolving. The second is, let's just see what happens. So if you knew Marika, you would know that that's how she runs her life. And she talks about it here. And again, talks about how it benefits her ideal clients in this second paragraph. Knowing how you function matters. Again, she's starting with the first paragraph of, talking about her husband and talking about her kids and how this shows up in life. So really that first paragraph is she's defending it as who she is at her core. She's got evidence through her whole life that explains that, yeah, this is my unique genius. Knowing how you function matters. That's my philosophy. And then she's talking about, second paragraph again, you know where I'm headed with this one, benefits. How does it benefit her ideal client? And then her fourth pillar of genius is slow down and dig in. That's where the magic happens. Again, first paragraph talks about how it's who she is at her core, and the second one talks about how it benefits her clients. So you can see here that what she's really doing, and it's a perfect example of what you can do in your about page or profile or LinkedIn profile, bio, whatever it is you're writing for. You want to really look in your life and distinguish what is your unique genius. What are your core areas of unique genius? And write small paragraphs about them. Defend them as who you are at your core with anecdotes that are throughout your life. There's clues in your life. You've made decisions here and there. You have passions about particular things that would actually prove that that's your unique genius. And then in the second paragraph, talk about how it benefits your ideal people. You might not have clients. You might be maybe you're a professor or something. You don't have clients necessarily, but how does it benefit your ideal people? That's what you want to focus on. So that's the genius section. And then the last section is the credentials. Okay, so I talked about 3 sections for your profile. Number 1 is your role. We got that up here, right? We talked about that already. Second section is your unique genius, which is what we looked at here in Marika's profile. And then the last section is your credentials. Now, this is what most people usually focus on when they write a profile. This is how many years I've been doing this work. These are my certifications. These are my degrees, blah, 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 blah. And the thing about only having that in your profile is there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that kind of thing can often be replicated because other people may have the same degrees as you. Other people may have as many years in business or more. So you want to have credentials as one part of your profile, but not the only thing. And that, if you were doing that in the past, that might be why you've been banging your head against the wall, because it's not the full picture of you. So that's what we have here, and that's what Marika included here, is her certifications and her amazing credentials. So that's that part of the profile. So that is how you write a powerful profile, is you start with you don't have to start with it, but you have 3 sections. You can do them in any order you wish, which is your role or your title, your unique genius, how it's who you are at your core and how it benefits your ideal people, and your credentials. And those are the 3 sections. Marika has done an amazing job. She is certainly a unique genius. If you want to check out her work, you can go to yournovellife.com. And if you want to understand more and discover more around what your unique genius is, if you're still stuck on that and not quite clear, you know you're great at what you do, but you're not sure how to articulate what your unique genius is, then come check us out at pillarsofgenius.com, and I will see you on the other side. Hope that helps. Bye.